And the review is done! What is going on guys, MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at the P-Bandai high-grade Libertas Dextra Dictus from Crossbone Gundam Steel 7. And here is the kit itself snapped together straight out of the box with no paneling or paint, and to be honest, it looks great as is. Being a mirrored version of the Juristic Sinister Dictus I've reviewed before, this simplistic yet peculiar design is perfectly replicated with a sticker for the eye under the mask, of which other options for eye placements are available should you choose during the build. And the only missing color wraps are on the thrusters on the rear dome and the white on the feather frontals on the back skirt. The gloss coating on the kit looks dazzling, and it makes sure that the Dictus catches eyes if the weird aesthetics didn't do so already. But it makes tracing the seam lines on the shoulders and the arms, as well as the various nut marks, very troublesome since this kit is not undergated. You may also want to fill in the hollow spaces of the claws, but otherwise, this kit looks great. On a side note, you can bash the two halves of the same color together and create these monstrosities if you have both hands in your collection, and honestly, they've just robbed me of my words. Articulation starts with a ball joint at the head and a stationary beam cannon towards its side. The arms can roll in their sockets, as well as rotate a full 360, while the shoulders themselves can shrug. The white arm can move out perpendicular to the body, while the purple arm not so much, even with the beam cannons out of the way. They both have a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow. The manipulator is ball jointed, while the small claw can hinge, and the pincers on the other arm can move separately. Movement in the waist is unencumbered and can roll on its ball joint as well as rotate a full 360. The rear skirt can move, and the absence of front and side skirts allows the legs to move out 90 degrees towards every direction. And they can bend on the double joints for a good 135 degrees backwards and a 90 degrees forwards for the alt mode. Finally, the feet can roll around in their ball joint as well as rotate. For weapons, you get the giant beam axe with many missing color wraps and a giant beam blade. It goes into the hand sandwich style, but the hilt clashes with the sleeve, which limits posing possibilities. Next up, we have the Mega Particle Cannon beside the head that is nicely color separated, and you can stick one of the provided SB13 beams to fire it. Thirdly, you do get the beam guns on the purple shoulder. They don't do anything, but at least the barrels are separate pieces, and they look good while you aim them. Lastly, you get the 4 scythe effect parts from the Gundam Phantom, and these stick into the claws on the arms, as well as the tip of the toes for the beam claws. You don't get any extra hands, and you cannot swap on the ones from any build sets, as the ball joint of this hand is enormous. For comparisons, here is the right hand of freedom with the high-grade Granddaddy Gundam, and as you can see, it is massive when compared to it. Next up is the real great Crossbone Gundam X1, and for something that coexists in the same era, the Dictus towers over the X1. Finally, here are the two maniacal Jovian brothers put together. The transformation into the mobile armor mode. You only need to swap in the longer neck piece for the head and an alternate chest piece to keep the arms locked in their lowered positions. Everything else involves turning the kit upside down and adjusting the fingers to produce the giant hand. I guess the only caution is to be careful with the locks on the arm joints, but it can get easier to untab them as time goes on. It is an outlandish looking alt mode, and it does stand out from the rest of the transformable crowd. You can attach the scythe effects, but to me that destroys the illusion that the alt mode is a giant hand. Press on the rear panel to reveal an action-based hull, but it's too deep for any of the action bases you get in recent kits to reach. Instead, you'll need an action base 1, 4, or 5 to prop the hand up, which is a shame that none are included in the kit. To wrap up my look on the Dictus, there are 3 major points to focus on. Firstly, it has good engineering. The yin-yang colors were pulled off perfectly with minimal missing details and stickers. The structure is solid, and it has great articulation despite having the alt mode in mind. Second of all, it is unique. Sure, it's not different at all when compared to the previous Left Hand of Justice, but for someone who is first exposed to this kit, it is a unique experience for sure because of how weird it is. But the worst thing about it is, it's pricey. Not to mention how this right hand is 10 Hong Kong dollars more expensive than the left, but because of the premium status and the gloss coating, its price is sky high even when it's only out for a month. So that's one thing to consider when you contemplate on getting either hand. But do buy some hand sanitizer while you're at it as well. With all of that said, this kit earns the same ranking as the previous Dictus of an 8 out of 10. So despite the price, it is absolutely recommended for those who want to give this weird Jovian mech a try. So that's gonna wrap it up for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more gunplay reviews, gunplay news, and all that kind of stuff. Turn on notifications for future content alerts if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.